What's going on, guys? Welcome to Boîte Noire Radio. I am your host, Alistair.
And I am your shit talking squirrel friend, Beefy, who has the anxiety.
All right, and this is a very safe space, all right? For what? Because we talk about anything and everything. And if you don't have an open mind, you can just, get out. Get out.
GTFO.
That's right. So, Beefy, before we go into the topics, let me quickly ask you, how was your week?
Oh, it was good, dude. you know what I did today?
Tell me.
I spent, I'm not going to say how much, but do you ever heard an app called Whatnot?
No. What is that?
It's an app where you can bid on stuff. So whether it's sneakers or comic books or action figures, I spent. Go ahead.
Is that similar to like gambling?
The way I do it, yes.
Oh crap! Okay, so how much did you spend?
It's like too much. I don't want to get into that. we don't need to talk about that. I'm repressing
okay, what
those
did
memories.
you get? What did you get?
So I opened a bunch of packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like from my childhood. Like the anime.
Yes.
I was searching for like this one card and I didn't get it, and I just kept getting more and more frustrated. And so I eventually just like said, okay, that's it. I tap out. I'm done. And the guy who opened the pack after I quit, pulled the damn card.
Oh my god!
Frustrated. You have no idea how angry I literally had like a mental breakdown, like sitting there staring at my phone. Like I had to turn it off because like my mental health was suffering. It was like I can't think and focus. I was like shivering. I was so angry.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! But listen, this is why you have a job, so you can pay for stuff like that. Yeah. Absolutely.
I didn't believe in the heart of the cards.
I didn't believe it. Oh my god, Beefy. It's okay. Did you get the card?
No.
Okay. Well, you still spent a lot of money. It's okay. You'll get it back.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
So what we did is, first of all, last week, I'm sure I told you, right? I had
No. Hold on. How was your week?
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm telling you my week. Yeah, of course. Last week, I told you I had to scold my little nephew for my nephew-in-law for being inappropriate and pulling a girl's hair, and he got suspended from school from that. And so last week, what I did is, because he's 14. You know what? It doesn't matter. Same difference. He's a teenager. And I went over to him and I said, listen to me very closely. Your parents, your mom mainly.
Is this when I texted you and yes. You said you're with your nephew? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, your mom works too darn hard. You go to a private school, which costs a poop ton of money. You can't act the fool like this. He has very good grades, by the way, A student. And A+ student, 90 average. But the thing is that with the crowd he's hanging out, those football players, no disrespect to football players, but that little hetero macho situation in the locker room to be like, whoa, right?
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah. I was like, look, listen, these idiots that you're hanging out with, you're not going to see them in 20, 30 years, all right? Focus on your school and don't be a dummy. And I said, I can't control what you do over there at school, but I'm disappointed.
Well, yeah, it's so hard in the middle of that, when you're living in that world and you're what do they call it? Your testosterone or whatever. Your
all the girls. You want to be part of the crew.
Your hormones. Your hormones are exploding.
Yeah.
And it seems so far away now as an adult, like the stresses of teenager life. But I do remember being in that and just having like the flip phone camera and the pictures of my girlfriend and MySpace, and those things could not have seemed more important at the time. So. Yeah. It's easy for us as adults to take a step back and try to say, like, these are the important years, yes, but you need to be thinking about the future. They're just going to get, okay, I know it all, man, whatever you say.
100%. And you know what? I told him, because, after you scold them, because then he was starting to cry. After you scolding, it's important that you don't stay on that negative too long. You have to bring it up to the positive. So, you know what? After that was done, I hugged him and I said, look, you're going to make a mistake again. I said, you'll make a mistake again. The issue is that make sure the mistake you make is not grandiose, like assaulting someone, let alone a girl. I said, my boy, it's okay. It's okay. And crying is good. You know what I mean? Just focus on your studies. You can't change the past. It happened. Deal with your suspension. Go back to school. Focus on the school. You can still be an idiot teenager, but don't put your hands on anybody, period. And
did he explain why he pulled her hair?
No, he said he was just joking. I was like, no, you can't joke like that, my boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah. But you know what? I made him feel a little better after, but I had to speak the truth because he's
Had
gonna
to like
he's
daddy
gonna
up on him or
yep.
uncle up on him.
Oh yes. Yeah. I take those things very seriously. I mean, he's not my kid, and I won't beat him, but
What's the parental situation like, if you don't mind me asking?
no. So no, he comes from a very stable household. He's a teenager. He wants to have big muscles and impress the girls, and he wants to work out and play football and be with his buddies, and he wants to be a boy like we
Is
all
he
did.
doing those things? Is he on the
Yeah,
football
he's
team
working
and
out. He's on the football team. He's
getting good
doing all the
grades?
stuff. He's a 90 average. He's in a specific private school, invite only.
Yeah, see, I would have a hard time being too hard on a kid like that. I mean, like the
Yeah,
homework those kids get, like
right.
I couldn't do it going back to try to play a sport and have a job and go to school full time.
Yeah.
Some of those kids, they're getting like 60-hour weeks.
Yeah. He works pretty hard. I normally would interfere, but the fact that even though it was a joke, that just don't put your hands on
Yeah,
someone.
yeah. I mean, in adult
That's
life, that could be assault technically.
oh
They got to
please,
instill that lesson
assault.
early.
It will be 100% assault, and possibly jail time. Right? You
Yeah,
don't know. You don't know how far this thing can go. So it's like, please, my
yeah.
boy, different world.
Well,
Okay.
honestly, I never had uncles growing up, but I did have
Uh,
like father figures who would
mhm.
do that same thing. Like you're getting the same feedback from your parents all the time, or you're sick of hearing it. It's like a
Yeah,
broken record.
it's like a
And
broken record.
having that like adult figure in your life just kind of take you out of that environment for a little bit, and
Hmm.
take you out for lunch or whatever. I have vivid memories of those moments, so I am really proud of you for
Oh, I
doing that
love
for
doing
your
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
thank you so much. I love doing
your
that.
words probably mean a lot more to him in those moments than his
Yes.
parents ever could.
Yes. This is why I try not to be too harsh, and I try to always come back with a lot of sweetness. Like I talk like tough, but I came right back and I showered him with love. Actually, too much. And I'm a toucher in an appropriate way. So I'm hand on shoulder, play with the hair, tickle tickle, bump bump. Do you know what I
Is
mean?
it
Like I'm
your love language is touch?
touch, right. And I spoiled the hell out of him after I scolded him, and I said, you know it's not okay, it's not good. But after that, because he can't be sad, he's a teenager, he's gonna make the mistake again. It's like you can't just leave him in that state. So leave him there so he understand how you feel, and then bring it back out, because he won't willingly do it, because kids are embarrassed. I was like, it's okay, I'm over it, I love you, come on.
It's like the old insult sandwich. You know what I mean? Like you say
Right.
something nice, then you say your crappy thing, and then you go and buy him ice cream, and it doesn't feel as bad.
Exactly. I love my nieces and nephews, and I have this philosophy of like, look, if we all do good, then we all good. Look, Beefy, I know I'm 38. You're like not far from me, and we're gonna croak in the next maybe 50 years, and this planet is gonna be for them. You know what I mean? So I believe in a collective wellness, not just me. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
have to say too, you're really lucky because like I would kill for like a couple of nephews and nieces. I have no children in my life, and like I'm getting older, man. These Christmases and everything. It's like, oh geez, this sucks. Like it's just me and don't get me wrong, I love Christmas and I love my brothers, and
Mm-hmm.
it's great having that kind of family. But
Mm-hmm.
they're just moments where it's like, oh, I'd love to share this with a little one, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's probably my biological clock being like, hey, like kicking me. Hey, you're getting older.
That's real, by the way. The biological clock
Yeah,
for man.
yeah.
Very true. Very
But
real.
I hope you take the time to appreciate that because you are very blessed, my friend.
Oh, I do. Thank you, Beef. I do. I take nothing for granted, because all of this would not have been if I was not lucky enough to survive my disasters. So no,
Yeah.
I cherish every moment.
How's little Olympia?
She's sick.
Again?
Tomorrow we're going to the hospital. So yeah. She's
So
not
wait,
okay.
is
Mhm.
she still sick or did she get sick
You
again?
know what? Ever since daycare, she's just been not well. There's always she's not well. There's always something. But just this past 2 days, she's just been off, a little not energetic. She still eats like crazy, but she's a little off. And I was like, you know what? I don't like to take chances, because the consequences is what, a dead baby. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Does she have a fever?
she does not have a fever, but I don't care. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I have insurance for, and so that's why I have a job for. So tomorrow we're gonna go see the doctor and let the professional take a look at it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Thermometer in the butt.
Yep. I said, doctor, do I need to go to sleep better at night? I don't. Oh, I do. Perfect. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, babies.
But you're smart to delegate your life. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you going to try and guesstimate and worry all the time? Just go see the expert, get it done.
Go see the expert, get it done, have peace of mind. Yes, it will cost money, but what's the alternative? You know, what's the alternative?
Sit up at night and worry like you're doing.
And worry. Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, Beefy. Oh, by the way, Beefy, you're awesome. Okay, go. Now,
so are you.
Thank you. So Beefy has been dissecting this specific next case in true crime. I thought I knew a lot of true crime.
Our first case. It's our first case. It's what do they call it? Honorary or
honorary? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Inaugural. It's our inaugural true crime case.
Inaugural true crime case. I've all heard about this person, but Beefy, take it away.
Oh boy, do we have a doozy for you one today, folks? Let me pull up my little screen here. So, for anybody who isn't familiar with this gentleman, we're talking about Zodiac.
Change the banner.
Oh my good God. Thank you so much. Boom. We're into true crime.
We're into true crime. You know, that's the Zodiac killer.
Anybody that doesn't know, it's this gentleman right here, the Zodiac.
Can I ask a quick question, Beefy? Is that the actual guy? Is that the actual killer right there?
This is no, oh God.
Okay.
This is a dramatic recreation from the movie.
Oh, I didn't even see the movie. This, you could tell how far I am.
Oh, the movie's
perfect.
Horrifying.
Is that all his victims that he killed?
So some of them are unconfirmed. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
So we're looking for number one. Here we go. David Faraday. Okay. Wow. So I want you to take yourself back to 1968 high school.
Okay.
And these two happen to meet each other in, say, the halls. You know, they're just walking down the hall.
Of course.
And little shy David Faraday is on the football team, much like your little nephew.
Yeah, sweet boy.
Manages to work up the courage to ask out little 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen. It's their first date for both of them ever. They've never gone on a date ever before. So it's the first time they've ever gone on a date. They go out for a movie. It's kind of a cute little thing. Betty Lou Jensen's dad even sits down David and says, you better take care of my daughter, son, with a whole little speech. So after the movie, they're supposed to be home by 10 o'clock.
Right.
They end up running a little late, which is a big part of the case. Like, why were they so late? They end up going and driving at a gravel parking lot at Lake Herman Road, like you see. And it's just like a little lover's lane situation, like a little pull-up.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there, they're listening to 60s music. Can you think of a song from the 60s? What was a popular song from the 60s?
Oh, God. I am foreign. I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. So that great song from the 60s, Boop Boop Ba Boop, everybody's favorite, is playing on the radio. And they're whispering little murmurs to each other pretend as if Betty Lou Jensen was just stroking his hand as he works up the courage to go for a kiss.
Oh, and they were being like teenagers.
Yes, listening to the radio. I'm sure he's doing the old yawn and reach over and pretending to put his arm over.
Feeling real good. Yeah.
Just as he does that, a car pulls up behind him, shines his brights real bad, and a guy walks out and walks up to David Faraday's side door and shines that light in his face.
Right.
They assume they're being pulled over because why wouldn't they?
Right.
And before they even have a moment to process what's going on, this strange man shoots them 5 times. Betty Lou Jensen was shot 5 times in the back and was killed instantly.
Wow.
David Faraday was shot once in the head at point-blank range and died within minutes.
Wow.
No, actually, no, I remember this. She did die instantly, but after he shoots David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen gets out of the car and tries to run. And as she's running away, he shoots her in the back and she falls, dying instantly. So that's where then here. Let's watch a clip.
Sergeant, could you briefly describe what apparently happened last night?
Yes, we had a double homicide that took place out on a county road about sometime after 11 o'clock last night. A double homicide involving victims were a 16-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy.
How did this incident occur, apparently?
Well, they were shot.
What were the circumstances involved?
Possibly they were ordered out of the car by the responsible, and the boy was.
So as you see down here, right?
Right. Wow.
Jensen fled on foot and then was shot. Yep.
That's so. Oh my God! And here's the thing: it's like there's nothing those kids could have done anything different. I mean, if I stuck in a parking lot and someone flashed a flashlight at me, I'd be like, first of all, I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh my God, what's going on? Second, yeah, I'll be like, can I help you? Of course. There's no reason to run away because I'm thinking it's a cop or someone.
Especially in that context, yeah, you'd be assuming it's a police officer. Yeah, they didn't even have time to process what was happening. Somebody pulls up behind them, they assume it's like they're getting pulled over. What else would you think?
Yeah, what else would you think? Oh my God.
All right. Yeah, terrible crime. So we now cut to 6 months later.
6 months.
Mike and Darlene work at a diner together. Darlene is married, but her husband works at the diner with her as a cook. They're like separated. They're not really married anymore. So she's kind of playing the scene. She's dating. Risque for the 60s. Yeah, she's
checking out the boys.
She's 18 years old. Like, get it, girl. Do you. Yas, queen. So one of the kids that works at the restaurant with her, Mike, asks her out on a date, and she accepts. How cute, right?
Of course.
They go to one of the drive-in restaurants. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to what we saw with David and Betty Lou.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing. They go to a pull-off on Blue Rock Springs. This is July 4th weekend.
Mm-hmm.
July 4th was the Friday before, so they probably had fireworks for the town the Friday. And this is still July 4th weekend, so people are setting off fireworks. The police actually had a lot of reports of people shooting off guns because there were so many fireworks being set off. So when the initial call came in of a shooting, they didn't take it very serious because they've been getting so many calls that night. So very similar. Car pulls up behind them, shines a light in the vehicle before they even have a time to process. Bang, 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 bang.
Same way?
Very similar. The way the bullets entered them and the way they reacted to the shooting was a little different. Darlene's ends up slumping over the steering wheel, and she's alive when first responders first show up. One of the cops will actually like goes in close to try to hear what she's saying, and he couldn't really get like a good grasp of it. It was just kind of like she wasn't strong enough to speak. He's trying to get details of the killer. Michaud rattled around like a mother. He was trying to like get out of the car.
Oh, okay. So Mike was like, "I'm out. See you, Darlene."
So he gets shot a couple of times, once through the face, by the way. Wow. And he goes into the back seat. And as the killer is walking away, he hears the screams of Mike Michaud, and he doubles back. He goes back and shoots him 2 more times. I think once through the knee.
Wow.
And then drives away. It's really horrifying that this guy just pulls up behind him, shoots him, and drives away. It's very sinister. A detail of the case, too, we found out from Michaud after the fact. He ends up living. He's one of the only victims to ever live. So
really?
This man has actually
seen the only one that survives this?
I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but he's one of the survivors.
Okay. Well, can you imagine what that does to you?
What's that?
Can you imagine what that does to you?
Yeah. I mean, the recovery for something like that would have totally changed his life.
Yeah. Continue.
But he's one of the only people ever to have seen his face. And I'm not sure if he's dead, but I know it wasn't that long ago. I watched a documentary and he was on it. And he's old and he can barely speak now because I believe he has brain damage. But
yeah, he got shot in the face.
Yeah. This is him. We'll watch just a little bit of this.
Michaud has been in hiding for more than 20 years. We obtained this exclusive undercover video after months of tracking him. In an emotional and dramatic meeting, Darlene Farron's sister, Pam Huckabee, approached a man she hadn't seen in more than 2 decades.
Hi, Mike. Do you remember me?
No, I don't.
Come here.
Wait.
I'm Darlene's sister, Pam.
That's the victim's sister.
I'd like to talk to you. No, Mike. There was a man that Darlene was very afraid of.
Oh, right. Okay. So they both work at the same restaurant, and Darlene had a lot of fans, and this is typical for girls. They have just kind of creepers that come in and, oh, hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Can I buy you some coffee?
But there was one guy in particular that she was very afraid of. So when the car first pulls up behind them, she says to Mike, oh, don't worry about it. She doesn't say his name. It's just him. It's just him. As if like he's just this crazy guy.
Who's
like,
done it
don't worry
before.
about it. And she's right. He drives away. He pulls out and he drives away. They actually hear him as he goes down the road, change his mind, hit the brakes, turn around, bang a crazy aggressive Yui, and speed towards them, and then come to a screeching halt behind him. That's when he comes out and does the shooting. So to put yourself into the mind of the killer, he's driving away, he's committed to himself, like, oh, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. For whatever reason, something goes over him. Fuck it, I am going to do it.
Yeah,
he takes the Yui, comes over, walks out, shining a guy in his face, bang, 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 bang. Listen, just thinking about it.
Dude, Beefy, does that mean that actually the Zodiac killer and Darlene knew one another?
That's the theory, yeah. That she knows him.
My God.
And she's, according to a lot of people, including Robert Graysmith, who's written several books on this, she's the only connection to this, and she really is the key to solving it. Because if you can track down who she knew,
yeah,
you could figure out who this guy is. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy theories out there, like she was having a painting party and this guy was there. There was some dude leaving weird little presents on her doorstep. I mean, she was out there getting it. I mean, it's 1960s, the summer of love or whatever. You know, she's having fun. So
yeah, you're having fun.
Yeah,
getting free presents.
So she probably had lots of suitors. So to go back after the fact to try and figure out which one of those might have killed her, especially however many years later. Good luck and good effing luck, buddy.
Yeah, I can't believe he got away with this mess.
Yeah. Wow. It's insane. Vallejo, California, this happened.
Wow.
So after he shoots him, this is like the craziest part of the case of why this guy is so infamous.
By the way,
drives away.
Really quickly, hold on. Nice face though for someone shot in the face.
Yeah, like, he's healed up pretty well.
He looks like nothing happened. He has his eyeballs. He has his, a round head. Like nothing is blown to pieces. He has 2 ears, a nose, and teeth.
I don't remember the exact details of it, but I believe it went in one of his cheek and then out his jaw. So like it didn't go anywhere near the brain.
Oh, so it shot him to the cheek while he was screaming.
I believe so.
Okay.
Or something.
Well, lucky him. Perfect. All right.
So after he shoots these two, he drives this car about a mile down the road to a convenience store. He picks up the payphone and dials 911. And when the operator picks up, he tells her that he's the one who just committed the double murder. And he's also the one that killed the kids last Christmas. And he hangs up. He tells on himself. Can you imagine, Alistair?
No, I can't. Please, I can
you
go down
imagine
the highway without someone noticing me. No, I mean, cannot.
The idea of a phone booth on its face is like absurd, right? So we know we're operating in a different time. But even so, how is he not petrified? He just committed a double murder, and like ice in his veins. This dude is the boldness of his attack is
very
crazy.
Ballsy, very ballsy. But
calls the police, tells on himself.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is like with the whole like telling himself is that he probably did it with a straight face. I killed someone. Bye.
No, he loved it. The operator who recounts this brief conversation she has with him, she goes on to describe the way he says goodbye, and he says it in this long, like almost taunting goodbye. No, not like that.
Oh.
It's almost like he's trying to sound like creepy to her. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to mess with her. Like goodbye. That's pretty close. That's pretty close, actually.
Wow. Look at that. It's not me. I swear. It's not me.
Yeah. So his boldness will continue. He ends up going to send a letter to the local newspaper, I think it's the Vallejo Times, admitting to it and telling them details of the case only that he knew, like the direction of the body and the ammunition nude, so they know it's him. And he tells them that if they don't print the story in the newspaper, he's going to go on a killing rampage. So they kind of have to. I mean, they're put into a situation where it's like,
they know it's him because of the facts that he corroborated, and then now he's telling you better talk about me or I'm going to kill again. 100%, I will believe it. I'll be like, okay, you better.
What would you do? Put yourself back in that situation, right? You're the editor of a newspaper, and a secretary comes up to you and says, hey, I got this crazy letter. And you read it, and you kind of think like, wow, this might be legit. You call the cops in or whatever, and you probably say to him, like, what do I do? Do I print this? Do I not print it? If I don't print it and he follows up in the attacks, I'm going to feel guilty for those lives. But if I do print it, I'm giving this guy the stage that he doesn't fucking deserve. I don't want to make this guy infamous, You
know what? You're 100% correct. And truth be told, if I was the editor, I wouldn't have printed it.
Really?
I wouldn't, because first of all, I wouldn't believe it because it's so outrageous. So I wouldn't believe that. I'm like, this is probably some.
So that's what I'm saying, right? The editor had to have called the cops to give verification. So
yeah, 100%.
Assuming that detectives came down and verified these are the facts, this letter is legit. Does that change your answer?
Yes, it does change my answer, because I think the cops probably would have been like, no, you're gonna post something or else we get you. So I think there was probably pressure from the police, be like, we don't, please post something, post.
Yeah.
Or at the very least post something, and then we can see if something happens, like, as like a welcome to the investigation team, editor-in-chief, Alistair.
I look at it from another angle of they almost have like an obligation from, their journalistic integrity to say, hey, this person's out there.
Yes. That's true.
I would feel that way. I would feel like if I was a normal person, I would want to know that there's somebody out there shooting teenagers in lovers' lanes.
I agree, but reality is such a big equalizer. I think the thing that would have dictated what you post or wouldn't post without the influence of the authorities is the viewership. Did the readers really care about this story? Probably not, because it's brand new and fresh, right? Yeah. So I think the police must have like twisted the arm of the editor. Not twisted, but like, hey, look, can you help us out? And the editor was like, yeah. But also, I think back in those days, people were a lot more, they had a lot more solidarity. They care more about their next of kin.
Yeah, it's very much love your neighbor.
Yeah. Today is like, who's that? Your neighbor? Close the door.
That's another fold to this too. Things like phone calls and newspapers were a lot more important than they were today. There was a lot less information coming at people.
That's very true.
And actually, to like again add another wrinkle, that makes him calling and telling on himself even more terrifying. Because like I remember even in the 90s, there was the thought that if you called the police, they could trace your phone call. Like, come to find out, you have to be online a certain number of time. But even before
they can trace like a payphone, because that's a landline. They know exactly, because it's a landline with a number, and they know what number was dialed. So if you call from a payphone, they know exactly the address of that payphone box.
So he had to have known they were coming right away.
Yeah, they were coming right away.
Scary. Even if they had to hoofed it right away. These guys got cantaloupe-sized testicles to pull something like this off.
Right? We're too skittish, Beefy.
No way. I couldn't do it.
It's cold outside. I have to get dressed. In the car. You have to drive.
Yeah, F that noise. Going outside. Who does that?
Go just watch TV. What is this?
All right, we'll go over. We'll get to the next attack here, and then we'll call it for this week. All right.
Oh, wait.
September.
Let me tell you something. Those hairstyles back in those days are giving me life, Beefy. Look at that hair. Look at that.
Aren't they beautiful? Look at her. She's a gorgeous girl.
Yeah. Even look at the boyfriend over there with that thick, nice comb hair and the glasses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like they're putting something in the water to give them nice hair.
Yeah, and they're just teenagers. Look how well sophisticated those teenagers look. They look like grown-ups of today. I like it. Okay, go.
Okay. I want to put you in the scene for a moment. You ever gone to like a lake where there's an island off to the side, or like a little peninsula where there's okay. So have you ever kind of laid on the grassy outpost near a beach, so you can oversee the lake? It's a nice, but the beach is kind of off to the side.
Yes, I have.
That's the environment we are in.
Oh, okay.
Brian's laying down on his back, and Cecilia is laying on his stomach, and they're just kind of. They're not dating, but they used to date. So they were kind of hooking up. They had plans to go to the city for the day, but they ended up running late shopping in an antique store. So as they're driving along in Brian's Carmen Gio on September 29th of 1969, they realize that we actually don't have enough time to get into the city. So, hey, Brian says to Cecilia, I know a great little area over by Lake Berryessa. It's beautiful. We'll hang out. We'll do some cuddling.
Okay.
And then we'll drive back. It'll be a great day. Cecilia says, let's do it, bro. I'm in. Let's get this cuddle, says. I cannot wait.
Yes.
That's what they did. And frankly, sounds like an awesome fucking day, if I cannot say so myself.
Okay.
Hanging out by the lake. I can just imagine little Beefy, my dog, just running around. Oh, heaven. Perfect Sunday. Anyways, that's the environment we are in. So as they're doing that, whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears.
Caressing each other's hair.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cecilia may have even brushed off his hair back over his ear ever so gently, staring into each other's eyes. Cecilia happens to catch a strange man who's staring at them about 30 feet away. And she says to Brian, there's a man over there. And he kind of laughs it off like, oh, you know, it's a public park. Yeah. Why is that weird? And this man goes behind a tree. And she gets even a little more alarmed. She says to Brian, he went behind that tree. And again, Brian isn't concerned about this. It's a public park. People are going to be there, lady. Stop being such a worrywart, will ya?
And keeps kissing
God,
me.
Cecilia. Like, chill out.
Come on, chill out.
You're ruining our great Sunday at Lake Berryessa.
Come here. Yeah. Stop talking.
He says to her, he's probably relieving himself. He's probably taking a piss.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Brian may not have been incorrect on any other day at any other park throughout history. He probably would.
Throughout history.
However,
he said throughout history, fact and correct, because Brian was too busy focusing on something else. Brian was having a good time.
So there's actually they take him back to the he does live, by the way, spoilers.
Oh.
But sorry, cart before the horse time. My bad. But it's important in the story to tell you.
Okay.
They take him back to the spot where all this happened, and in his mind, when he hears her say there's a man over there, he thinks he's saying past the cove, past the beach, like much further away than this man actually was.
Yeah.
He's like 30 feet range, like enough for it to be intimate and weird. Like a man just standing there staring at you. It's creepy.
30 feet? Yeah, that's close. That's not far.
Yeah. So that's what Cecilia's looking at. And after he steps behind from the tree that Brian assumed he's peeing, but she is very concerned, he has, and I'll show you, he has this over his head.
Whoa,
it's an executioner's hood.
So wait.
This is how he looks.
That's the reenactment? Oh my God.
Yes. He steps out from behind the tree, pulls out a pistol, and he says, I need all your belongings. I'm escaped from a prison, and I'm going to Mexico. Brian actually is pretty great about it because he's actually a sociology major. So he thinks to himself, like, you know, I got like something 50 cents in my pocket. I might be able to write a paper about this. He's kind of laissez-faire, as you would say, about the whole situation.
Yeah, and by the way, 50 cents back in those days was like $500. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm being stupid, but yeah, it's like, I have $500.
That's so true.
I got 50 cents. Like, can you imagine? It's a sticker. Give me all your money. I got 50 cents. Oh,
score! Jackpot!
Like, oh my God. Can I get my gas money at least? Okay.
Continue. Oh, man. So, you know, Brian's talking to him. I only have 50 cents. He even says to him, I'd be happy to write you a check. He tosses him the keys to his car. He's really just actually trying to help this guy.
Wait, pause really quick. So that 16-year-old had a checkbook?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, he's 20. They're in college.
Still, a 20-year-old with a checkbook. Perfect. All right, continue.
He's like you. He's in control of his finances.
Love it.
So it's at that point that they probably saw a serious look come over this man's face behind the veil of that executioner's hood. And a 1,000-mile stare come into his eyes. Wow. As he says to them, well, what I really need right now is to tie you guys up. And it had to have dawned on them at that point, in that moment, that things probably were going in a bad direction.
Yeah.
Why do you need to tie us up if you're just taking our car? What's the point? Mm-hmm. Just take the car, you have the gun on us, and go.
Yeah.
And they probably argued with him. It's going to get cold out here. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Doesn't care. Brings them down to their knees and hog ties them like a deer. Have you ever seen it with their legs and the hind legs behind their back?
Worse.
It's a very vulnerable, horrifying position to be tied up in.
You can't
it's almost
even,
like BDSM. It's awful.
You can't even protect yourself with your shoulders because your shoulders are locked behind your back.
So that's it. He takes the car keys, he takes his 50 cents, he ties them up, and he gets ready to go. And just as Brian assumes this attacker is walking away, he asks, hey, just because people are going to ask, was that gun even loaded? And Zodiac bends down, shows him his gun, pulls out the clip, and shows him that there was, in fact, bullets in the gun. And Brian just kind of laughs at it. Okay, all right. And before he even has a moment to process, he sees in the corner of his eye a very large knife get unsheathed. It's actually a kill bar from the Marine Corps. They call it a K-bar. It's a very, very long knife.
Like what? Like 12
you're probably But not like a steak knife, like Austrian Dundee. This is a knife, like that kind of knife.
A knife,
hunter's knife.
Tooth. Yeah.
He unsheathes that and he sticks it into Brian's back 6 times, over and over. And as this is happening, Cecilia is screaming around, rolling around, terrified that she's next. Because she's going to be, and she knows that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was that fact that made this case, this attack in particular, very, very sad. Because Cecilia was rolling around in fear, trying to get away. When he stabbed Brian, he's still, because he didn't know it was coming. He's a sedentary object. He can hold him down. He can stab directly in the back, over.
Yeah.
Once he moves over to Cecilia, he is now dealing with an animal, more or less, who's tied up and is fighting him.
Right.
So he's not going in the same spot. We're talking breast, leg, groin, neck, wherever he can get it in. 22. Wait, no, I'm sorry. How many times? 10 times he stabs her. 5 in the front and 5 in the back.
How many times? Oh, he stabs him 6 times, right?
Yeah.
8 times.
So it's clear that the woman is the target. Like, the men are almost incidental. Like, don't get me wrong, he does not like couples. Like, this very much surrounding the psychology of this case is him being rebuffed by women, and him attacking them because of that. But it's very clear every time the girl dies. We've seen 2 men survive so far, but the girl always dies. She's the target.
Oh my
so
God.
They're left there for hours to just roll around stabbed. Brian's a hero. They eventually end up getting their bounds untied with their teeth. Wow. And they're screaming out to people in boats, and they think that maybe somebody sees them, but they end up driving away on their boat. So Brian thinks, like, we're going to freeze to death. Like a freaking hero, this guy.
Wow.
He's only able to walk like 3 or 4 steps at a time before passing out. But he almost makes it to the road, and it's not like a short distance. It's like a quarter-mile hike from where the road is to where the beach is. Wow. Luckily, before he ends up getting there, the person they saw on the boat who drove away actually did go to a ranger station and report that there were 2 people who were, screaming bloody murder, because it literally was bloody murder.
Bloody murder, yeah.
Yeah. So a ranger ends up coming up, and they try to get Cecilia to the hospital. Unfortunately, she dies on the way. But they're able to get a description from both of them. Now, this is an interesting question that everybody asks, right? And I want to get your opinion on this. First 2 attacks, no hood, no mask.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Berryessa attack, all of a sudden there's an executioner hood involved. Why wear a mask if your intention is to murder?
I think because he really got into his role. It was like, oh, I'm a murderer now. Let me just fit into the role. I think he really enjoys the fear, the torture aspect, the fear aspect of it. That's probably why he didn't use a gun on the 3rd time. Because the first one is like, done. It's not big of a thrill. The second one is like, like you see the escalation of a thrill, and like wearing the hood, the victim is scared. Do you know what I mean? I think he was.
Yeah, they say that a knife is much more intimate than a gun is.
Yeah.
We'll end up getting into in next week. This will be the last case for this week. We'll get up into a little more of his writings, and I want, for anybody that isn't familiar, I'm sure 99% of you already know what I'm referring to. For anybody that's not, we get a lot of writings from Zodiac, and there are lots of references in those writings to comic books and modern cinema. And there's a lot of people that theorize exactly what you're saying, that he's building himself up to be a supervillain. Even in the costume that he wears is almost like donning a hood, like Batman. Like he's becoming the Zodiac. Even the Zodiac itself is inducive of a serial killer.
Wow. You know,
in that letter, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
In that letter that he writes to the police, he starts it, "This is the Zodiac speaking."
You say?
So there is a certain level of this where it is wish fulfillment. It's like he is playing the I'm attacking everybody through the
I
fear.
am the killer. I'm the Zodiac. In the morning, I go to the grocery store, and at night, I'm the Zodiac. Yeah, it's like a stunted growth. It's like a maniac with
likes the attention.
Yeah, like he didn't finish growing up. There was probably a ton of abuse, a ton of neglect. He never got to grow up, and then now he's a grown man, and he knows, oh, I'm a grown man. I have some sort of strength, and he's just exerting whatever control he's thinks he has. Actually, he did have it because he never got caught, right?
Okay, yeah, I think so.
He never got caught, right?
No, I'm sorry. No, he never got caught. I was agreeing with your assessment. Yes.
About him being
He did never get caught, which is insane because they have crazy amounts of evidence on this guy. I mean, fingerprints. Some people even said DNA.
Oh, of course, there was no fingerprint database in the 60s.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people say that he got really lucky, and if he were to try to commit these cases, this murders today, I mean, it's obvious he would have been caught. The second he goes to make that phone call at the local gas station, he's going to be on camera. Boom, they got him.
But you know what's interesting? I think also, do you think that the fact that he committed these murders, the fact the whole Zodiac killer, do you think that prompted the push towards research and discovery to improve our detective system, our legal system? Because if we didn't have a Zodiac, do you think we would have better forensic?
I think police forensics were always going to be increased. Like that wasn't influenced by Zodiac, but I do think the methodologies they use in those forensics was very much influenced by Zodiac. If you look at DNA technology nowadays, especially familial tracing, this was one of the first cases they sent this to, was to try and solve Zodiac because they believe they have a DNA sample. So when they caught Golden State Killer from DNA backtracking, like, Ancestry, like the next day, they said that they were sending out Zodiac stuff to try to do the same thing, to get a hit on a family member. No, not as of now, but they haven't officially released the results. Like this was years ago. So assuming if they did, that they didn't get a hit.
Wouldn't it be cool if the killer is actually the father of John F. Kennedy? He's the Zodiac killer. I'm kidding, but
it's funny. It's funny you say that because there's like tons of movies and stuff out there. Everybody says, "Oh, my father was the Zodiac." That's like a joke inside the community. It's, "Oh, my dad was Zodiac."
Sorry, why would someone boast about that?
I don't know.
Don't mess with me. My dad is a Zodiac killer. Oh, okay. I guess we're not friends, and we're certainly not dating.
Oh no, it's Daddy Bailiff in the back. It was him. Daddy Bailiff is Zodiac. Look at him over your shoulder, looking all menacingly.
Right.
He's been here all along. Okay, so just to wrap this up so we can move on.
Of course.
So as he stabs him, he kind of, he wanders at his work. He enjoys it as he stares at them laying in the ground in pain. And as he walks away, he leaves wing walker boot prints in the ground that become key evidence to this attack. He walks down the road, down that quarter-mile hike back down up to the road, and he sees Brian's Carmengia. And he pulls out a black Sharpie, and he writes on the door the date and then Zodiac by knife. Let's take a look at that evidence, actually.
Wow.
This is it. This is the door. That's the door. Yeah, by knife.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine all these years later, like, seeing that? Oh, the same door. They still have it.
Wow. Mm. I wonder.
Says,
I wonder if there's a crazy fan who would buy this door and frame it.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Hey, government, if you need tax dollars.
1969 by knife.
Wow! Look, it's like a memory. How did you call that?
Card, a calling card?
No, I forgot the word in English, but memento.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Memento, right? So a lot of construction people do that. They put their name or the year the building was built. So it's a memento. It's not like
I used to work construction. I would do that right on the beams with Sharpie.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
And the other two dates are the other attacks. Vallejo, 12/26.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And see this? Okay, this is important. You see the sign at the top?
Yeah, I saw.
That's his little that's his insignia. That's his symbol. On the executioner's hood, there was like a little metal cross just like that.
Wow.
So that's his Batman logo. That's his Superman S. That's the Zodiac. Again, further evidence towards your theory that this is all like a role play for him. He's taking up the mantle of the killer. That's where we'll leave it. We'll pick up the rest next week.
Oh, Beefy, part 2 next week. I wonder how far we're gonna go next. Is that all he's writing? Because he killed more, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there are a lot of other cases that I think might be associated to him, which we'll examine and discuss whether we think may or may not be Zodiac. But the ones we discussed today are confirmed. We know that.
The Zodiac killings. Do you know if they were the first ones? Is that his beginnings? Are we witnessing?
No, we saw the other victims. Remember this?
No. I think this part 1 segment, the first victim, is that this first death?
We will get into that in week 2.
Got it.
Stay
Look
tuned.
at me thinking ahead because I'm a smart man. No, I'm kidding.
I gotta say, you make a great audience and a great co-host. Like you ask very poignant, like you lead me to end up discussing important key stuff that I wouldn't have brought up.
Yeah, I do ask a lot of questions. That's why all my life I've been told, shut up. No,
that's what makes us fun.
They're like, be quiet, Alistair. I ask a lot of questions because I'm interested. I'm curious. I want to know. Yeah, ask questions. Wow, Beefy. Yeah, it makes me wonder. I'm skittish by nature, and I have a security system here in the house, and I'm always one of my biggest fears is home invasion. I tell you, it sounds ridiculous, but
oh my God. Sorry, go ahead. I'll talk after.
No, go ahead. But home invasion, biggest fear. I'm terrified about that. What?
I watch a lot of true crime, and this case in particular, in Golden State Killer, I used to, like, when I lived in an actual house in New Hampshire, like, looking out at the dark woods, I would get terrified at night that somebody was going to break down my door. Like, if you watch enough true crime back to back, you get in the mindset that these things are going to happen to you.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you this story. So we have a friend who has a house in Cape Cod. And it's a weird house in the middle of the woods with no internet. All right? Okay. So
some people love that. I hate it because I always think there's somebody out there.
Yeah. Forget the killers. How about the animals? How about, my leg, I've fallen, I can't get up. Oh, help me, right? Forget about how about the regular simple stuff like help? And we're driving.
That's a good question, right? If somebody just came up to your door with like like you said, like they got a broken leg. Help me, open the door, I need to call the police. Would you open the door?
No.
Me either.
No. And you know what? It happened once in real life, and I told them, you better step away before I call the police on you.
Yeah.
It happened.
A lot of people do that. It's like they get you.
Yep. Unless you tell me you're coming, you're not welcome here. If I don't get an explicit message saying I'm on my way, I'm arriving, I'm not opening my door. You're not welcome here. And the reason why
so funny the way that's changed, because I'm the same way. People will knock on my door, and like sometimes I get like telemarketers and stuff, and I always yell through the door. I'm like, "Who are you? Like, why are you here?" It's like it's terrifying getting a knock at the door. It's like, who's here to get me?
Our front door is it looks like glass, but it's not glass. It's bulletproof. And so it's funny because that person, I was looking at them and I was talking to them and I was like, please get out. And they were looking at me, waiting for me to open the door. I was like, I'm not opening the door.
It's like actually a window, like you're looking at each other.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. So at the door, at the main door, you have like a glass, like a see-through area, so you can see who's coming or not. And so I'll tell you who it was. It was one of those people. He had a PSCNG vest, and he's coming to check out the counter or whatnot. Now, normally you're not allowed to interfere with them coming and check the counter. So where the counter is, there's a way for the PSCNG people to go and check it out. I said, okay, go ahead, check it out. And then, because I have cameras, I could see him. He pretends like he's checking it out, but he's not. And like he just having a good old time enjoying the backyard, like looking around. I was like, that's kind of weird. And then he comes right back in front. Usually they just look at the counter and they leave. No, he comes right back in front.
You're talking about like a counter in the kitchen or what?
Oh, the meter counter in the back of your house.
Oh, gotcha.
They still do that. But you would think with all the technology in the world, they'll find a way to do this without coming to your house.
Right.
They still show up in the house. And he comes right back in the front door, ring the doorbell. I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh yeah, can you open the door? I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the stuff. I was like, nah, I'm good, thanks. And he just looked at me right through the thing, like blink, 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 and I blinked back.
I'm like, go away, like, email me, text me.
Goodbye.
Yeah, if you are who you say you are, you have my info, just freaking call me, email me.
That's it. It was the weirdest thing. And I remember I called Chris and I was like, I don't think this was PCNG. I don't think it was PCNG because he didn't even look at the counter. He came to the back, enjoyed the view, and walked right back out. He didn't even look at the counter. I mean, I have the camera.
You know what? I get a lot of people that knock on my door for the same thing. It's people that are trying to sell your services back to you. They're like trying to sell you discounted energy. Yeah. Like people will say like, oh, I'm from National Grid. I'm from Verizon. And it's all a scam, I think, in my opinion. I just said, not interested, shut the door.
Not interested. You even open the door, no, open my door to nobody. Yeah.
Well, they keep knocking. I'll say like, who is it? And like they won't answer. So it's like, why do you I shouldn't though. And I'm gonna go the Alistair approach from now on.
No, go the Alistair approach. Speaking of the keep knocking, one time, same thing, a telemarketer, because I have the see-through window and they were ringing the doorbell because they can see when the car's in the driveway. And I had a sandwich and I walked by that door and I looked at them and I kept on my way. I was like, if you don't get the hint that I'm not interested, you can have a seat in front of my door. And then
I can just picture you as you walk by, like just giving the plate of the sandwich at them.
I gave them a straight look. Okay, and I kept on walking. And I was saying to myself, like, if you didn't get that, I'll give you like 30 minutes to have a seat, maybe recompose yourself. Because if you don't leave in 30 minutes, I'm calling 911. There's an intruder in here. No, get out. Some people, I'm not interested. Send me I don't like strangers in my space. I really don't.
Leave a card. I'll call you.
Yeah, you got to send me a text and call. Even to my friends who show up unannounced, most of the time I say, I'm busy, come back. I kick them out because that ça ne se fait pas, as they say in French. You don't do that.
In today's society, it is rude. Yeah, I tell people before they come over.
Bye.
Isn't it weird how that's changed? The pop-in used to be a fun thing.
Yeah, it used to be a fun thing. But because there's too many murders going on. Look at that. Look, there's too many murders. There's too many assaults. There's too many thieveries.
Robberies. Yeah.
Too many robberies. I don't know if I told you, but one of my a friend of a friend got home invaded.
Oh my God.
I kid you not. And he lives by himself, and he locks the door everywhere. But there was a particular window on the second floor. Now you would think a window on the second floor, okay, I can leave that unlocked, right? And he's sleeping, and then you live by yourself. You hear your door open.
Jesus Christ!
And he's like, "Wait, who the fuck is here?" And then and then there's a stranger. It was a woman. She wasn't right up here. She climbed the fire escape situation. And she was in his room.
Oh my God!
And he's like, "Get the F out! Who the F is this? Get out!" And when
my girlfriend's saying all the time we should get a gun, and I'm like kind of anti-gun. Like I get nervous about that. It reminds me of like Cheeseburger Man behind you. Like that's what it makes me think of, like Kohlberger and the roommate that like froze in fear as he walked past her.
Yeah, he walked past.
Like serious Kohlberger vibes.
Yeah. The gun is a little too much, but I have a panic button.
Good for you.
Help!
I want a panic room. That's what I need.
Oh God! I'm like, click, run! Like, yeah, you could kill me, but just know, everybody saw you. You would go get out of here alive. Someone
I would wear that thing around my neck like life alert. Remember? Oh, right. Like, help me! I can't get up.
Click. Yeah. No, but to go back to the story with the at the Cape Cod, because there was no internet, there was nothing, and you know what? And he likes that whole like authentic cabin in the woods, no electricity. Well, there was electricity, but like that little, like I'm rugged and hetero, and so I was. we were like, okay, well, there's heat, there's running water, but there was no internet.
Oh,
there was no internet. The closest store was like a drive away, and there was no real neighbors. So we were like in a forest, and it was nighttime, so it was really dark at night. And it's like, let's go outside, make a fire pit. I mean, I went out, but I'm like, oh my God, who's there? What's that noise? What's going on? What's happening?
We are so alike. I go to my mom's house sometime, and it's very similar. She has a lot of property, like she has goats and chickens. She lives on like a huge acre lot, like in the middle of the forest in New Hampshire. And I live in the city, so I'm used to like sirens running by. You probably hear them when I record sometimes. It's like I'm used to that background noise of just like the chaos of the city.
Right.
And when I go up there, same thing. Like I go outside to smoke a cigarette, and it's like terrifying. There's so much darkness, and it's like somebody could just be in the tree line staring at you.
Or an animal. Or you screaming and no one is listening. What?
Her internet sucks too, by the way. So
and yeah, you can't even text for help, right?
Yeah.
Like help me.
Pass. Invitation declined.
Right? That is just the saddest thing. Like most likely, if you text someone for help, they're not going to see it till after you're dead. Or if you call someone help me, they're not going to pick up until the end of the day. Oh, what have we become? What kind of life is this? It's okay.
There have been a few cases like that where they find the body and it's like they have 911 dialed. Oh, terrifying. We'll have to get into one of those sometime later on the podcast.
Oh, just one letter away. But then it would be one letter and a conversation away. So
exactly. And the police responding there, it's like they can't unkill you.
Right. It's such a funny word when I hear it. I don't mean to laugh. People who watch it hear me laugh. Unkill you. LOL. Right. Okay. Should we go to the next story, Beefy?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So look, listen. We're going to talk about politics, and I'm going to graze that politics topic. You know what? I'm going to do the hell I want. If you don't like it, you could get the F out. But no, it's really, really, really harmless. It's about this guy called George Santos. Do you know who George Santos is, Beefy?
I do not.
Okay. Very funny man. Not for the reasons you might think. So he's a congressman, a Republican congressman, who got elected based on a myriad of lies. Do you want to hear some of those lies?
This is George Santos you're talking about?
This is George Santos. So the first lie he told the public, right? Don't play that one yet. This is his response to being indicted by New York, by the feds. So the first lie he's talked about, he said that he got a degree from Baruch and NYU. Harmless, right? Pretty harmless. The second lie is that he worked at Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Okay. The third lie is that he claimed his mother died during 9/11. Now that's a little bit disgusting, right?
Yeah.
And then the fourth lie is that he is not only Jewish, but that his family fled the Holocaust.
Oh my God.
This is just a few of the things. But what you need to understand, Beefy, is that voters actually sucked that up.
They believed
it up and swallowed it and then took a poop with it. They believed it like it was nobody's business. And I'm sitting there like, how gullible are we that some ridiculous man is going to tell you, I walked on the moon and we're all going to believe it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, of course, all of that came out because guess what? If you go and campaign and say I have a degree at NYU, what do you think NYU is going to do? Who is this? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. They're going to go and deny you.
What is he running for?
So he got elected as a member of Congress.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, he won. This came out after he won.
Oh my God.
After he won. And so when all he's like, and he parades himself as being a member of the LGBTQ community, as gay. And then he's like, but I was married to a woman, but then I was divorced. Like the whole bunch of lies, right?
He's just looking for sympathy in every way he can grasp it.
He's looking for
disgusting.
Sympathy. Completely disgusting. Now, I want you to play the video, not this one, but the other one I sent, where it says the lies New York Republican George Santos has told. This is from USA Today. Play that video is going to showcase a little bit more of some of the lies.
She wasn't even
from the beginning.
He also lied about his grandparents escaping the Holocaust, as well as a job at Goldman Sachs.
New York free, Santos free. New York free, Santos free.
George Santos has been falsifying his employment history to his background with seemingly no repercussions in sight. The fabrications have become a real thorn in the Republican Party's side.
You can see his chub sticking through his center. I already hate this guy. And I'm not a body shamer, but like, if you ever pictured the body of a little lying worm like this, who lies about family members dying in 9/11, like, I am sorry, but that is it.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that the lies was unbelievable.
Lying, disgusting face.
It just makes him so unlikable.
Oh, I hate you.
Yep.
Throw you out. Go away, George Santos.
Yep, George Santos.
Thorn in the Republican Party's side. He lied about his education, that he attended Baruch College and New York University in New York City, which he didn't. He even admitted so. Questionable campaign finances have also bubbled up. Santos reported 6 figures in earnings, but had no assets in 2019 and 2020. He is accused of taking funneled money from unknown sources into his campaign in order to help get elected. And he also lied about his mom saying on Twitter that 9/11 claimed her life. She wasn't even in the country during the attack. He also lied about his grandparents escaping the Holocaust, as well as a job at Goldman Sachs. With a tight majority in the House, Speaker Kevin McCarthy has been loath to reprimand and call for his removal. And while members across the aisle have called for him to step down, the falsehoods keep piling up. Santos says he will serve his full term regardless.
Yeah, I bet.
So
why would you turn down the free money?
Exactly. And he's being paid 6 figures, by the way, by the tax dollars. And so here's the thing that I thought was absolutely bonkers is that some people actually still support him. I mean, look, he lied about some of the most outrageous things, and he is being indicted by the feds. And some people still support him for the simple fact that he's a Republican. They're like, oh, no, we don't want to give up the seat to a Democrat. And it's like, where is your integrity, monkeys? Because it's dumb. It's dumb. It's almost like saying, you are willing to compromise the integrity of your own intellect.
It's like being in a cult. Like they're
like
blind to the facts before them.
Exactly. Like you're not even.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not right leaning. I'm not left leaning. I'm very much like you. I'm independent. I take the facts as they are, like the case and your campaign on its merits. I don't care who you are, where you come from. If you're going to do good for this country, I'm all for it. I don't care.
Agreed. So the feds are like,
they should have kicked him the F out of Congress.
That's the thing. The problem is that there's no way to really kick him out. And so what the feds are doing now, they're going after him. They're charging him 4 counts of wire fraud. And for, of course, lying to Congress. Wire fraud. Why? Because he filed for unemployment while he was employed, received money. And also,
God.
I know, government. Stop, get it together. Like, I don't understand why you approve this. Are you serious? Anyway, that's for a different story. And then you have, he's fleeced his donors. So you will go ahead and donate money. He took your money and spent it on vacation and dinner and food, right? Like do you know what I mean?
I like your California girl as that impression, by the way.
Do you like how I comb my hair?
Oh my God! I'm going to Coachella this year. Are you going to Coachella?
Yeah. Do you like how I'm combing my hair, Beefy?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, it's.
Can I get a French vanilla extra?
Yeah.
You ever get Dunkin' Donuts?
You know what? No, go ahead, do it.
Can I get a French vanilla extra? That's what they all ordered when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I got the French vanilla extra, which is extra cream, extra sugar. Ugh, it's like a milkshake.
Oh my God. Anyway, George Santos is going to go to prison. But by the time, it's a federal situation. The feds are forever. Government is very slow. So by the time
I hope they send him to Guantanamo.
By the time they
him
send
up.
yeah, I know.
Him up.
Lock him up. Oh, please, XX supporters, get away from me. Now, look. So, did you get it? Perfect.
No.
Very good. Maybe the viewers or the listeners will also have forgotten it. Very good. Anyway, I'm done with George Santos. I hope he rots in prison because he will do prison. He will 100%.
Wait, what's this other thing that you wanted to see?
So it's right. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So listen to what he says when the feds actually charges him with the crime. Listen to this mess.
It's a witch hunt.
Why would you apply for unemployment benefits when you had a job making $120,000 a year?
This is inaccurate information, and I will get to clear my name on this. During the pandemic, it wasn't very clear. I don't understand where the government's getting their information, but I will present my facts.
Taking a page out of former...
He's a liar. You can just smell it on him. You can smell liar on some people. And this dude reeks of lies.
Of lies.
Ugh.
We pay him six figures.
Stinky liar, man.
He honestly, I think he got the job because he ran because he wanted the job because he was broke before that. He had no money allegedly, and
so he was basically a nobody that just lied his way into Congress.
And he made his way to Congress, riding the coattails of the GOP's narrative, which we all know what that is. And of course, people just went ahead and voted for him.
What's the GOP narrative?
Oh God, you're gonna get me in trouble. I'm black. I'm black. I'm immigrant. You can figure it out. You know what a GOP narrative is.
No, I'm not political. I don't know.
So the GOP narrative is that the 2020 election was stolen. There's that. So he took that, he grifted on that, and people bought it and voted for him because it's like
supporter. I get it.
I'm sorry. I got news for you. 2020 is literally like what, 3 years ago? It's not coming back. So 2020 is over. Get over it. Get over it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Whether he won or lost is ancient news by now.
Ancient news by now. Beefy, you're so scared to reply, yeah. Look how you say yeah. You're like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no. I'll come out right and say it. I hate Trump. Actually, no, you know what?
Really?
That's not true. That's not true, actually. Because I think he did do a lot of good in his... Oh, yeah. I can see you. You forget. Your camera's on, by the way.
No, I'm listening. I'm just luxuriating in how you're going to get out of this one. So I'm like, I'm listening.
No, I don't need to backpedal. I will play devil's avocados to a certain extent. He did do a lot of good during his presidential candidacy, and I think that he does not get credit for those things. I will say that. He did a lot of good.
One thing I would say not to that is that during his presidency, my investment did very good. I give him that credit. Yes, Olympia is sitting very nice and pretty thanks to Trump for that period of time. Now,
his candidacy on its face made sense. If he could just keep his mouth shut, it would have gone great. Like having a strong border, keeping your country safe on its face is agreeable. It's how he goes about that I take issue with.
Exactly. Do you know, let me tell you something. In 2016, when he went and ran, I was going to vote for him. And then he opened his mouth about a particular topic. The first one was calling all the Hispanics, RAPISTS.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, sir, I don't know if that's appropriate. And then he went on at some point. You may not remember
Isn't this the same guy that says grab him by the pussy?
Right.
Essentially
right. And then he went and says, all the African countries, like everybody coming, like that Africans are poop hole countries. Therefore, we're worth poop. I was like, oh, honey, wow. I am an African immigrant. You think you get my vote with that? No. I was like, he just insulted me. He just
was this after he ran? Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said countries from Africa are poop hole countries. Oh, you could Google the poop hole comment from Trump.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
Are you done with this? Was there more to hear?
Yeah, we're done with the politics. We can go to the next one. Which
yeah,
is
before you lose any more subscribers. Pop culture.
You know what? Wait, I have a question. Listen, to anybody who has an issue, look, you gotta have an open mind. Just a really quick question. Why is it so triggering for somebody else to have a different point of view to the point where you have to go and take the extra mile and you know and harm them?
Effing men.
Yeah.
Why is it so, like, why do some of these people, we're not talking anybody specific, but why do you bear the cross so hard that because I say I don't like X, we can no longer associate?
We can no longer be friends. Exactly.
I don't understand it. I don't
understand it. And also, truth be told, no matter who it is in politics, whether you voted for Biden, whether you voted for Hillary, or whether you voted for Trump, whether you voted for Barack Obama, no matter who you voted for, they don't care about you. Nobody cares about you because at the end of the day, when you go home to your little hut, I'm going to call it a hut. When you go home to your little hut and your little hot water and heater in the corner, you think they care? And I say that because, you know, most of them are much richer than us. They don't care about your little electric heater and your hot water. They really don't. At the end of the day, if you don't pay your bills, you go to prison. If you don't pay taxes, you go to prison. They don't care. Do you think they're going to come out and be like, oh, thanks for your vote. I will pardon your sins. No. So, it's like at the end of the day, what are you doing driving so hard for someone who really don't give a crap about you at the end of the day? Am I correct, Beefy?
Absolutely.
Right? Like, if I don't pay my taxes...
And sister.
Yeah, do you think Biden would be like, oh, Alistair, you didn't pay your taxes? It's okay. As president of the United States, and because you voted for me, I'm going to make it go away. Mm-hmm. No!
Yeah, never.
No. Look at January 6th, right? And all these people, they were expecting a pardon for this man. You think they care? No, they got nothing. All of you are going to rot over there in prison because you are too stupid to go and take your two legs, walk across the field, and commit a crime. For who? For someone who doesn't even know about you? Come on.
Get real.
Yeah. Anyway, I love you, though.
Yes, we love you. Please subscribe. I'm going to put a link to my Patreon down in the description if you want to join Patreon.
No, but it's true. Look, Beefy, because, you know, I had this talk the other day. When was it? I had this talk Monday. You know who? Oh, I'm going to cry. Okay. Let me just compose myself. There is a friend of mine and best friend, and we don't talk anymore. Not because of me, not because of my fault, not because of anything I did. At least I don't know. But I went to his wedding. I met his wife. Anyway, he cheated on his wife. I don't like that stuff. But, you know, they divorced. And I helped him with the divorce. Like, it was a very tumultuous time. I was best man of his wedding. He missed my wedding.
These are lifetime bonds. You have
exactly. We were friends since I was 18. Mike Bruno, if you're listening, he's not, because he's not even on social media. But if you ever fall into this thing, I miss you, and I absolutely adore you. But I'm super pissed that you ghosted me. Like, no, there's no other ghost. He's still alive because he still has the same number, and I do call it once in a while because
why did he ghost you?
But that's the thing, I don't know, because this is what I think. Every year since we were 19 years old, we would, you know, we I guess busy life, busy young kids. Anyway, so we would meet together for Christmas at dinner. We would meet together at a restaurant for Christmas, the 23rd of every December. We would get together and catch up, and we would exchange gifts. Nothing too fancy because we're broke. We would exchange like a card.
And so one day he just doesn't answer your texts anymore?
So then what happened is that we did that for all these years, and then what happened is that after his wedding, because I was his best man at his wedding, things changed. His behavior changed, and you know, I was still very much involved into his life, you know, but the moment when I was like, you're different, when he cheated on his spouse. He cheated on his spouse with his coworker. He works for the IRS now. Yeah, go figures. He cheated with his coworker. Unfortunately, I couldn't co-sign on that, but he was my friend. So therefore, what I did is that, look, I don't like that you did that, and it's good that you're divorcing. So I help you move out, but I don't co-sign on that. I think cheating was not.
Do you think that's why he cut you off?
No idea, because that was the last time. As soon as I helped him move, and then he called me. He's like, okay, the girl I was cheating with, his coworker, his partner, they are going to move forward to becoming girlfriends. And I said, okay, that's great. No problem. Now you're dating the woman that you had an affair with on your wife. That's not my business. Great. I mean, I said, congratulations. I was like, okay, good. No problem. You divorced. Everything's fine. You can do whatever you want. And then I don't know and that's it. That was the last time. That's the last time I spoke with him. We never argued. We always laughed. We always met every year since I was 19 years old for Christmas, like an hour at dinner. And throughout our lives, even when we were in college, we were communicating.
Do you think the girlfriend might be playing a role in this?
No idea, Beefy. And it hurts.
Did you meet the girlfriend?
I never met the girlfriend. I did not want to. I didn't want to at the time. That's
so strange.
He was having an affair while he was married. I can't co-sign on that. I'm like, look, you can have your affair. I don't like that you're having an affair, but I'm not going to boo up with your affair because I'm friends with your wife. Do you understand? So I can't be too involved with your affair.
Do you think maybe he lost you in the divorce? Because that's a very real thing too.
But here's the thing: when he divorced, because they had an apartment together, so everything was split. I came and I helped moved. I helped him resettled, and he was.
Are you still close with the wife to this day?
No, I'm not. She completely cut everybody out. Everybody from his part of his life.
She cut you off too. Jesus.
Yeah, but the thing is, I miss my friend. I want my friend, and he was my confidant, my biggest confidant. My straight male confidant.
That's so hard. And let me just tell you, I'm going through a similar situation. We need to go down that rabbit hole, but for another day. But it very much is like grief. Yeah. Like when you have to go, uncommunicado for whatever reason, whether you're choosing to do it or somebody has chosen to do it to you, it is very much like you're grieving loss. Because that's what it is.
Beefy, he missed my wedding. He missed my wedding. I remember we were not talking. Like he ghosted me, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then years went by because he met Christopher, and so it disappeared. And now, of course, I was in complete shambles in front of Chris. Chris was like, well, fuck him. And I was like, okay, I'll try. But I didn't really get closure, so to speak, right? And then, you know what? I said, okay, maybe if I tell him, look, I'm getting married. I want you to be my best man in my wedding because I was your best man in your wedding. He never replied to that. And let me tell you something.
Oh, my God.
He still hangs out with some of the friends that we have in common. It's not like he's not dead. He's alive. He went to my friend Miguel's wedding. I couldn't attend to that wedding because, I had other obligations, but he was there. He went to Greg's wedding. He was there. He was there. He would have seen me if I went, but I just couldn't go. He was there.
Because of him or just other stuff?
What'd you say?
Did you not go because of him or you just didn't?
No, I couldn't go because, sometimes when you run a business, you're too busy. I really
understand.
I really couldn't escape. I really couldn't make the time. But afterwards, when the pictures were sent, I see him there. I'm like, oh my God, he's right there.
I had an opportunity.
But
Who knows? And honestly, it could be as simple as just like, I've been busy,
For like what, 10 years? Hold on, I'm 38 now. Yeah,
more than 10 years. No way. Yeah, that's
more
crazy.
Than 10 years. Because I got married when I was, I don't remember, in 2010, 2011. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely deliberate. I'm so sorry for you, man. That's awful.
I have no idea why, but I am heartbroken. I don't know why we got into this topic, but we got to this topic because maybe something that I did that he didn't co-sign on, and it was his hard line. Maybe something I've said. And he never
it definitely sounds like he was offended about something.
And he never spoke with me, and he cut me off. And the point is that to go back to the trumpets and everybody, whatever, who you don't agree with someone, you don't have to cut them off, right? You're allowed to have disagreements. You're allowed to say, I don't like that, I don't want that, I don't, So just because you can't please everybody, you're gonna hurt.
Well, it didn't even sound like you were really taking that much issue with his lifestyle. Like you're kind of saying, from what it sounds like to me, you were saying like, hey, I don't agree that you're having an affair when you're married, but it's your business, and it's your
business, which it is. Yeah, I just didn't want to meet the girlfriend while you were still married. Can you please divorce, and then maybe you can have your life, the second life? But while you're married, I don't know, man.
Especially if you were friends with the wife.
Yes.
Yeah, he's putting you in a difficult situation. I think you did the best you could to navigate it. I don't know. That's really strange, man. Again, I'm so sorry that's what you're going through that.
It's okay. I'm so scarred from it. I still have his phone number on my phone, and sometimes I still look at it and I go, should I call? Should I text? And once in a while, I do make a big mistake of saying a little update of my life. and end it with "I miss you,"
and it just goes unanswered, right?
It goes completely unanswered.
Yeah,
completely unanswered, and you know,
how stupid do you feel too? Because I've had people that I've done that with.
I don't really feel 100% stupid because the way I think is like I have nothing to lose. I know it's a no already. I know he's not gonna answer already. I have nothing to lose but so much to gain. So maybe I might get him on the time where he's drunk, get him on the time where he's like happy, maybe get a time where he reminisce and miss me and he will reply. Maybe. I have nothing to lose because he doesn't want me anymore, right? But I miss my friend and I totally understand the message. And the message is like he does not want me. I totally get it. And I'm sure I annoy the hell out of him when I send him the text messages.
Geez.
You know, I know. And sometimes I send a little voice message. I'm completely stalker-ish. No, it's not that. It's because I don't know why he broke up with me as a friend. I don't know.
And if you care about somebody and you want to go excommunicado, you wouldn't put them in that situation to constantly wonder what happened. If he actually cared about you and respected you, it's fine if he needs boundaries and space. I mean, it might hurt you. But at least take the time and say, hey, for my mental health reasons, because of X, I just don't, this isn't healthy for me. To go completely ghost, that's toxic.
It's very toxic. I know. Especially because I'm very laissez-faire. He knows how I am. You can talk to me about anything. As a matter of fact, I handle his cheating pretty well. I'm very laissez-faire, which was I was like, I don't understand. If there was something wrong, he would have told me. Please, I have disagreements with friends every day. They sit me down, they yell at me politely. They're like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, and I,
Who knows? Honestly, I get baffled by people and how they react to stuff. Sometimes I find out after the fact that I assumed the situation was a certain way. Yeah. And then, come to find out for whatever reason you see somebody's standpoint and it was like, oh my God, this was like X thing was happening and I had no idea. And I totally crafted this entire, spun this whole web of a narrative around something that I just didn't understand. So maybe something like that's going on, man.
That's definitely what's going on. My narrative and the reality is completely different, and I'm a sucker here in the corner, and I still feel very hurt. He didn't attend my wedding. I wanted him to be the best man for Olympia, best man, Godfather, but no.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Well, I'm sorry, man. Maybe he's out there listening and maybe get him to reach out to you or something.
He has no social media. He's not listening. But if he ever does.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
You brought up something I wanted to ask you quick, and this is kind of going back a ways. Mm-hmm. You brought up Hillary Clinton and how you might have, voted for X or whoever. Not saying you would have voted for her, but I thought of this the other day, and I almost made a video on it, but I didn't want to get political, so I want to ask you.
Do you want to go back? Is change? Wait, before you answer.
Oh, right. Yeah. You got to change it. Okay. Politics. Back to politics.
Confusing the viewers.
It's so funny. I love the banners. It's so great.
Okay, finish. Finish the thought.
No. Put it back.
Beefy, do you have fat fingers or what? It must be your stupid rodent hands.
Yes, squirrel hands. Very nimble. You can toss me out of a 60-foot tree, and I do a thing where I open up and land on my feet. Anyways, I want to give you a hypothetical. Imagine Hillary Clinton had won the election. Mm-hmm. How different do you think the pandemic would have gone if Hillary was our president?
I think it would have been a lot less death. Now, mind you, I have a molecular biology degree. And I study science. So I was not, and especially because I did genetics. I understand, and molecular biology, like ribosome and mRNA. This is my alley. I was not afraid of the vaccine. If anything, I've worked with mRNA when I was working with corn during my internship. mRNA is not something new, right?
Wait, I was drinking what? Corn? How did corn get right into this?
Yeah, so because at the time we were it was this company, agriculture, and they were had to perfectionate the sugar content in corn. So you do genetic stuff. Yeah, it's super fascinating, and so I was no stranger to mRNA, and I was like, wow, this is actually quite clever. And they figured this out, but the whole world was like, what is that? What is that? And I was like, listen, people with no education in this field, it's harmless. It's harmless. I used to use it all the time. It really is harmless. A ribosome, and it's two protein that glue together. Look, you have the mRNA right here, right? You have ribosome that clasps to the protein stuff, and they move it and they read it. That's it.
This isn't a vaccine. What does that have to do with Hillary, though?
Oh, right. Okay. Because you asked me how COVID would have been different. I think there would be a lot less death because Trump was pushing the whole thing like it's not real, it's not dangerous, and the vaccine is terrible. What
And
not?
you think Hillary would have been like pro-vaccine? Well, no, because well, yeah, I guess you're right because he was kind of like. Well,
Yeah, Trump was like, I'm not taking it. I don't want to take, even though he got vaccinated behind the scenes, by the way, just so you know, for the people who think Trump was vaccinated and boosted. Yeah.
But there were those key months like January, February, where he was like saying Kung Fu flu, and like you said, straight denial mode that it was coming here and that it was real. Yeah. And if we had somebody who respected the science in the presidential chair,
it would have been completely different.
Yeah, completely different.
Look, let me. I'll show you a secret. So, because I have a fitness studio, and so I closed my fitness studio the moment the virus landed in United States. So again, I'm no stranger to how these things works. And when Abe left Wuhan, I was like, okay, now where is it? Is it in Europe? I was like, oh my God, it's in Europe? Wait a minute, that's pretty fast. And the moment it crossed the Atlantic, I was like, oh no. If it's in the US, right? Because look, I'm in Jersey. When I'm not far from New York.
Did you have Olympia?
No, I did not have Olympia at the time.
Not yet.
Okay. New York is right there. New York is literally where every airplane lands, most of them, right?
Yeah.
If it's in the US, it's in New York.
It's everywhere.
If it's in New York, it's in Jersey.
It's everywhere.
So, motherfucker, you better close that studio now. And I was like, okay, everybody, I'm closing until further notice. They were like, what? I said, no, you don't understand. I'm too afraid to die. So, see you when I see you. And sure behold, Jersey created a lockdown like a month after. Yeah, no, I think it would have been very different. But the main thing, though, listen, the main thing, if Hillary was president, forget COVID, it wouldn't be as divisive. Like, we would still be able to have conversation across the aisle without it being so charged.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it really is the Trump presidency that made the whole cancel culture was created, or it came about because Trump was
in response
to Trump.
Just like the 90s, it was the opposite thing, and like counterculture resulted from Clinton with the Lewinsky trial.
Exactly.
Counterculture went anti-political correct in response to him being gross, and now now we're overcorrecting the political correctness in response to a gross president again.
Exactly. That was it. Like it's the hindsight 2020 behind the scenes.
He did drag it down to like a very argumentative, like primitive level of like almost us versus them. Like he made a sickness political, which was like I think the key mistake.
The key mistake, because people lost family members, people divorced because of that. You know,
they say everybody knows somebody that died, which is a crazy thing.
My cousin died of COVID. He was 30.
Yeah, my aunt died.
You see, like how could that be fake? Oh no, it's fake. Come on. Like that's the big damage that Trump did. He made it so we can't be friends. If we don't think alike, if we don't talk alike, if we're different, we can't be friends. Yeah. That's not true. Can you imagine if everybody was like me, it would be a complete disaster, number one. And number two, you'd be like, look at that, $5,000 stairs, run. No, because it's diversity is important, right? You cannot please everybody. You're going to offend people.
So true. Very kind of you to say that. It's a very high emotional intelligence for you to recognize that, because a lot of people, they just want like everybody to be in agreement and on the track what they're saying. But important conversation. That's how we all grow.
That's how we all grow. Exactly.
Have respect for the conversation you're having.
And the person, because they also have a point of view, right? So they're telling you something because of what their processing situation is, right? So it's all about perception. Your perception is not better than the others, and your perception is not, almighty. So you have to
like if I like hamburgers and you like hot dogs, that doesn't mean we don't have to like each other. Yeah. Or I say you can't eat hamburgers anymore. I can enjoy my hot dog and you can enjoy your hamburger, and we can have a nice little barbecue.
You got it, Beefy. Yeah, which is, you know what?
We cracked it. We did it. Wrap it up.
My in-laws.
We finished it. We did it.
But they're not going to listen to us. Beefy, we're going to get canceled. Are you ready?
Yeah, I know. Again, there's so many out there like, Man, I like that squirrel guy, but geez, I heard him talk about it.
As we speak, they'll be like, "Oh my god, yep, cancellation."
I'm doing the canceled dance right along with you. I need to get the animated dance going. Yeah. Dance those subscribers away. Bye-bye, everybody. So long, farewell, Avita, say goodbye.
Can I tell you a little secret? I mean, it's gonna be secret. It's actually not a secret. It's a funny joke within my family, my in-laws family. You know, I have my niece. My niece is 18 years old. She's going to college. Beautiful girl, by the way. And
is this the sister to the nephew you saw?
She is, yes, she's a sister to the nephew, right? Okay. Very smart. Anyway, so you know, she watches a lot of stuff I do, and she watches it with her friend, drinking something, which I tell her, like, you better control that. I don't want to know. But anyway,
yeah, she's underage.
She's underage, but you know, we've all done that. But you know, she watches me a lot with her friend. I know her best friend, Ashley. And,
hi, Ashley.
Yeah, and her best friend, they're such a riot. But you know, we have a secret handshake. It's not a handshake. We have a secret language, me and my niece, and it's so funny because I go like this, and then so when I went like that, because I know she watches. So when I went like that, it's for her.
Oh, so she's somewhere on the universe doing the other move?
It's for her because when she's watching it, she's probably doing it with her friend, the same thing, because we have this secret thing. Funny. Yeah, so when I walked it out, I'm like, hi, Ashley. She goes, how cost?
Too funny.
It's really funny. So as I was like this, like, you know, it's for her. It's for Ashley. Come on, I'm not shaking my boob. I don't have any boobs to shake, but it's for Ashley because she watches this, a lot of stuff I do, and she just laughs. She just laughs and laughs and laughs. Mm-hmm. Hi, Ashley. Okay, let's go to the pop culture, because I got to tell you something, Beefy. You don't know who that woman is. Her name is Kim Zolciak. Okay, look. Kim Zolciak is a woman from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you don't know what that show is, it's okay. You live under a rock, right, Beefy?
Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know of Kim Zolciak?
Well, Beefy is a squirrel, so he lives in a tree. So that's why. Okay, maybe not a rock, but Beefy lives in a tree. I'm gonna make this very, very short. Long story short, she flaunts how much money she has. And, you know, she wears a blonde wig, and she's very California. She's like, oh, my God, I got so much money. I'm so rich.
Bitch.
Right. But wait, here's the funny part. She's broke. No, she's broke. Oh. Her house is going for foreclosure. And knowing her house is going for foreclosure, she's getting a divorce. Knowing she's getting a divorce, her husband's asking for full custody of the kids. And it's like, you know, she was posting out there.
What did she do?
Well, she's flaunting how much money she has, how her life is perfect. She's so happy in her marriage, and she's plastered for everyone to see, only to find out that it was not an illusion. And so the point of the moral of the story really is, if you don't want your business out there, keep it to yourself, and also be as truthful as possible. Beefy, what is the problem with people not being truthful? Again, it goes to say that
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the
people
that post on Instagram and Facebook all lovey-dovey and how great their life is or whatever are actually the ones that have the worst, like, what's the word? Like, self-security. Yeah, their self-esteem is really low because it's like they're projecting what they want even though they don't have it. Yeah. Like, I'm very happy in my life, and you know, that's the last thing I would ever do is like post on like, look how great my blind dog is. Like, Are you on social media personally? Like, do you post?
So I am. However, I am no longer because so it's a very long story. Sure. So my business is on social media pre-COVID. After COVID, because I had to reinvent myself because as a fitness studio, COVID was like, listen, you're going to go broke. So I had to reinvent myself. And so now I work more on the corporate side of things. I don't need a social media. I deal with people with suits and who don't want a social media anyway.
On a new level.
On a whole new level. I deal with insurances, lawyers, the boring white people who are like, oh my God, what are you doing? Right?
Like me. That's me. That's what I do too.
I deal with those. But even in my personal stuff, ever since having Olympia, I haven't posted a single post. Partially for two reasons. Number one is I'm too tired to post anything. And number two, I don't want. I'm very protective already of my space. I don't want anybody to have access to anything.
Yeah. So what you just said right there, those two things are very indicative of somebody who actually enjoys their life and is actually proud of it. Because you don't need the validation of others to be proud of what you have.
Nope.
And just like this Salazar lady or whatever her name is, she's out there in the world, her blonde wig and her millions, and then come to find out,
he called King
she's like
Salazar. But anyway, continue. Yeah, she's out there with the blonde wig.
Yeah, her Instagram is all like flowers and rainbows, and it's all great.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, it's like the dog from the meme with the coffee cup and the house is on fire. Like, this is fine, It's like you're putting up one image, but in reality, you're living the meme.
Oh my God, that's so true. But I think also, Beefy, I think there's this obsessed reality that there's this obsessed fantasy of wanting to get a glimpse of someone that has money. Like, there's nothing glamorous with being normal. There's nothing entertaining with being just average. It's like they want to see the glitz. They want to see the glamour. They want to see the hair, the makeup. They want to see the cars, the watches. They want to see the women, the plastic surgery, the boobies, right? And I'm sitting there like, do you know in real life people are not like that? Please. In real life, people are people. And also, there's nothing wrong with being normal. Like, it's almost like society has.
And to be perfectly honest, like, the people in those posts and in those movies, they take off the pound of makeup and the wig and the fake boobs, and they're in their bed with their significant other, just like we all are.
Just like we all are.
Looking probably similar to what we do without the millions of dollars of filters and God knows what else.
Right. Look, I'm going to be very disgusting. During COVID, Beefy, are you ready? And look, anybody who dares to judge us, how dare you? Because you're obviously lying. Beefy, during COVID, has there ever been a day, just one day or maybe more, where you haven't showered for 24 hours? Exactly. Go ahead, Beefy, lie to me.
Dude, I don't shower every 24 hours now. We're out of the pandemic.
Okay.
I work from home though, so it's like I just go from one day to the other. So
okay, fine. I rephrase my question. All right. During COVID, has there ever been a day where you haven't brushed your teeth in 24 hours?
Yeah, that definitely happened.
Oh, okay, exactly. Come on. Please, some people are like, come on, you're home. Nobody's watching. You think you're gonna be glamorous 24/7? Absolutely not. There'll be days I'm like, oh, I don't feel like it.
I heard somebody say something to me the other day, and it really kind of changed my whole outlook on things. She said, sometimes with your mental health, you'll go through phases where you're great, and sometimes you'll go through phases where you're not. Mm-hmm. You'll go through periods in life where you're ready to take on the world, and other phases where just getting out of bed and getting through your day is the most difficult thing in the world. Yeah. And it's totally okay to live in the imbalance of those two cycles. You don't necessarily have to be destroying and taking over the world every day. You'll get back to that. Like, take the time when things are difficult to heal, like the butterfly in the cocoon. Like, go put on your pajama pants and don't talk to anybody and sip your coffee and get your shit together and go out there and become the butterfly, the beautiful person that we all know you are.
What a great analogy. I can't wait for all the hetero to process that. You mean I have to go be a butterfly? Yeah. Yes. A very colorful butterfly.
Butterflies are amazing. I found out about this.
They're gorgeous.
I found out about this butterfly the other day. It's the only carnivorous butterfly in the world. And what it does is it pretends to be a dying queen, and it mimics the scream of a dying ant queen. And the little soldier ants, they pick up the caterpillar who's pretending to be the dying queen, and they bring it back into their colony, and it slowly eats every single one of the soldier ants. and eventually cocoons. And, you know, in the middle, it consumes the entire colony and the larva and everything.
Kills everybody?
Takes their whole ant colony and sprouts out to be a beautiful butterfly.
Look
and you never know. You never know. Seeing that butterfly land on your finger, this
that bitch
insect
is a murderous.
Yeah.
Monstrous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kill the whole colony of ants to become a butterfly.
Look at this butterfly, so pretty. It just killed the whole world. I love it.
And just to bring it back to that, you know, just like Instagram, like you never know how many people they had to climb over to become those beautiful Kelly Salazars of the world. Like, yes, they may all seem
Kelly Salazar. That's not her name. Her name is Kim Zolciak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kelly Salazar. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But the people who might know her might be laughing right now. Like, he just called her Kelly Salazar. How great is that? And you know, another thing also about this situation, it also proved that in this country, people live way above their means because they want to keep up with the Joneses. No.
Yeah, it's so true.
The other day, oh my god, Beefy, you know,
don't you have a saying like every video? It's like you are enough or something like that you say in your videos.
You are enough. Everything about you is enough. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. And if someone doesn't like the way you are, go to the next person. There's someone for you. There's always someone for you.
I like 100%. That. Next. On to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, next one. There's always someone for you. You know, I think I've told you, right? It's some of my circles. They call me stupid. They call me bad investor. They call me an idiot. They say I don't know what the hell I'm doing. They always laugh at me because I'm too nice and not so hard about the numbers. Do you know what happened to me today?
Are these your investment friends?
They're not so quite friends. They're not friends, but they run in the same circles. So in other words, I see them a lot.
Didn't you say one of them just like went under or went out of business or something like that, though?
One of them went out of business. Yes.
Yeah, so you're getting the last laugh in the end.
Yeah. So during COVID, we were all on pause. They never rose. And I almost went under also. I had to find a way to figure it out, and I figured it out. And because
what did you do to supplement your income?
Oh, perfect. I was married.
Did you marry into money? Are you a sugar wife or a sugar baby?
I am not a sugar wife. I'm not a sugar husband. No, sugar baby.
I'm so sorry. No. I meant sugar baby is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, sugar wife. I don't care. It's okay. You can call me wife. No. So, no, Christopher does well for himself, but that's not an excuse to stay home and do nothing. Because let me tell you something, Beefy, because you and I are in the same age group. So when I'm on my deathbed, you're not far behind. So, Beefy, when we are going to be 90 and 100 years old, who's going to pay for this expense of keeping me alive? That's expensive, right? And people really underestimate how much money it takes to upkeep a human being who goes into a realm of chronic situation, because as we get older, we get more chronic.
Happens to all of us.
It happens to all of us. And if you live in America, I'm sorry, my dears, America is very expensive. Healthcare is very expensive, and you really underestimate how much money it takes.
And I'll tell you, people assume there are programs or places for these people. No. I lived with a gentleman who got dementia. And he had spent all of his 401k. He was an alcoholic. He spent all of his 401k money on alcohol, okay. And there was nobody there to take care of him. It was down to me and my other roommate to change his diapers, and there was nobody there. By the end of it, he got put into like the emergency room of a hospital, and his family just never came to pick him up. He died there in the emergency room.
Welcome to America. And so even though Christopher offered to me like, hey, you could be like a house husband ever since the baby, I said, I owe you mine. There's no way. Because the truth of the matter is that, you know, I like my comfort. I refuse to not get my comfort. I know it's a choice, but I think it's very hard
not be comfortable.
Yeah, it's hard if you used to have hot water and then you don't have hot water. It's kind of hard to get used to. Do you know what I mean? But it's something you have to work and pay for. And so I'm always like, no, Christopher, no. I'm able-bodied. I still have my full functions. I'm young enough. I can do squats. I don't have any knee pain. I can do cartwheels. I can go there and work. And so, no, I want to work for the purposes that later on, when I'm older, I can just relax. Do you know what I'm saying?
So true.
Yeah.
or Olympia will win the Olympics and be able to take care of you.
But there it is. And then we have Olympia to take care of, right? So now it's like not only my retirement, but I have Olympia's future to think about. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, in my case, because I believe in nepotism and nepotism involves family and friends, and I believe in the collective being strong. It's not just Olympia. It's
wait. When did we
everybody.
get into financial advice? Wait, hang on. Let me change. Here we go. There we go. Financial advice with Alistair. Here you go. Thank you, everybody.
Look, I'm really not that smart. All the knowledge that I got is from common sense from my mom. My mom is an entrepreneur. My father tried to be an entrepreneur, but he sucked. My mom is all the brains, to be really quite honest, and I just mimic a lot of stuff that she did because partially she taught me. So it's not she taught me. How does she teach me? Very simple. Live way below your means. There's a percentage. If you make X amount of money, you're supposed to live on only on what? 30% of your income. You might ask yourself, that's nothing. But listen, there's a reason why my mom is where she's at. So 30% is what you're supposed to live off your income. So yeah, maybe you might not be able to afford that nice apartment over there in New York. So you find a way to make it work across of your budget. You know what I mean?
And you can still work when you're 60 and 70. You don't have to work a manual labor job. You can go to Walmart or whatever to help. There's definitely, just plan. You got to plan. That's
you have to plan. You got to have contingency plan. You really have to plan. You know, my mom is retired, but she still works. She still has she has a pension.
I'll probably work till the day I'm dead. I haven't been putting much of my in my 401k as I should be, and I need to. It's never early enough to get that advice.
But let me tell you something, Beefy. 401k is not the only option. You got to put in multiple nest eggs. You got to put in 401k because if your job match, perfect. You put as much as your job matches, and let that take over on automatic system. You find a way to make any extra money income, and you take that little extra money, you put it into an investment account. Into what? If you're not sure what you're going to do with it, put it into Vanguard, S&P 500. Done.
Oh, yeah, see, you're in like a whole other level. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, man. I'm not. I got no.
And you know what? That's the reality for a lot of people. And listen, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't the world. All you have to do, honestly, I know it's easy to say, but there was one point in my life where I only had $1 and I was almost homeless. I'll tell you that story in a little bit. But because of course I was young and stupid. And
on the next episode.
On the next episode, yeah. But look, it's never too late. It's never too late. Even a little bit put away can make a very big difference. You know what I mean? But I understand. I'm not stupid I'm not naive to understand that that reality is not for everyone, and people struggle. Matter of fact, most Americans struggle. I'm very aware of that. I'm very real, which is so sad because it's one of the richest country in the world. And if you dig,
it's the richest country in the world because there's so many poor people to prey upon.
Exactly, you've got it. And if you dig very deep into the details of the particular finances, you could find a few unnecessary expenses, and you could also find a few bits and pieces of potential of increased income. Because
there are always ways to make more money. I mean, look at us. Just even YouTube is, on the internet. I mean, look at the guy who I bought all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards from to bring it full circle back to the intro. You can go onto WhatsApp. I see people selling Pokemon cards on there for thousands a day. There are so many ways on the internet to make supplemental income. Yes. It's out there, people. You got to get it.
I'll tell you another secret. Okay, Beefy. I understand what you're trying to say. Okay, look, I'll tell you one more thing. To go back to 2016.
Oh, okay, all right.
With the politics with Trump and whatnot.
Okay. We're all over the place.
But wait, it will come back to the finances that there's always some money to be made.
Okay, back. All right.
Not to be sappy, but one of the biggest advice my mom told me when I started my business, she said, "Look, it's going to be hard as hell. Good luck, and I'm not going to help you financially." I said, "Sure, I don't need you, Mom." No, I didn't say that. But she said the first sentence you should say every time you wake up is, "What can I do today that's going to bring in more money?" That's it, right? And also when you have a business, your way of thinking is a little bit different. In 2016, when Trump and Hillary were going at it during the election, there was this one watch company who made limited edition watches for Trump and Hillary. Only 12. They're no longer made with a stamp and whatever, with a proof of whatever. And they were only like $12 each. And I remember I was like, that Trump guy is really a piece of work. But I wonder what will happen if he wins, and 20 years from now, I can take those watches and sell it again. So I bought them all.
What?
I bought them all.
You bought all 12?
And I bought the Hillary Clinton ones. The problem is that nobody cares about Hillary Clinton. So that's not worth it. But the Trump ones
are they worth a bunch of money?
So, because nobody else has them, because I have them all. I'm waiting until the right moment to put it on eBay. And I'm going to sell it for $10,000 each. You mind?
No way.
Oh, please. They will buy it. They will buy it. Please, they will buy it. You don't think the big Trump fans will not buy that? They will buy it.
Is it really like a collector's item? Like what's it? Who makes it?
Some company in Texas. It has like a certificate per box. It has a stamp per box, and they're not making it anymore.
Is it one of these?
Oh no, it's not one of these. I can go upstairs and pick it up and show it to you.
Is it a Rolex?
It's not a Rolex. You want me to go upstairs and pick it up and show it to you?
Oh, look at! I bet you it's that one. Yeah, go get it.
No, it's not that one. I bring it to you. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Donald Trump watches while you're gone. Watch with Beefy has anxiety. I want one of these Daniel Craig watches. Oh man, 007. So fine and debonair. Oh man, I could look at Donald showing his fancy little watch off. Actually looks pretty badass. It's cool. Okay. Oh, look at that one. That's cool. I wonder. Oh, that's the 2024 one. I gotta buy that one and take Alistair's investment advice and sell them for $10,000 on eBay. That's the one that see you guys are getting in on the top secret stuff. Go on to the Revenge Tour. What website is this?
Revenge Tour.
You got to look up this watch. Yeah, see, this is the one for the 2024 election. Everyone's got to get. We're giving them the inside secret of an investment strategy.
Oh, look at that! There's more watches. Then maybe
is it the same?
No,
it's
not.
The same.
Mm-mm. Okay. Oh, can you see it?
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Yeah, let me bring it back.
I guess you're right. Nobody will buy it for $10,000. Look how many watches there are. I guess this was a bad investment also. It's okay. It was only $20-something. But look. So it comes in a special box. And I didn't want to touch the thing because I don't want to, some collectors.
Hold it up close to the camera. There's a glare. Yeah. Oh! His hands are the hands!
Exactly.
That is awesome!
The Hillary one, nobody cares, so nobody's going to buy that.
Hey, is there a manufacturer on there?
Yeah, so the company is Revolution Watch Company.
Revolution. All right, let's look it up. Can't spell Revolution.
It shouldn't be on there because it's a limited edition. And if it is on there, because I got lawyers.
Like they sold you a bad bit of goods.
I want my $24 back. My $12 back.
Oh, it doesn't say it. Let's just try for Revolution. Oh, wait. Did I spell it wrong?
Right now you're doing school stationery.
I don't know what happened here.
This should not be the other one. I mean, you might see it maybe on the images, but this was done in 2016, so it shouldn't pop up. Clip.
Oh, Revolution Watch, is this it?
Yeah.
Same company?
So the company is called Revolution Watch Company.
Celebrating the machine with a heartbeat. Huh. Yeah, I can't even find these things. You're probably right. It probably is. It's really cool with the hands. As the
limited edition. Yeah. So you can't find anywhere. So I'm sure someone there will be like a Trump collectible person. Maybe I'd put it for $5,000. Someone will buy it.
Email Alistair if you want it for 10
No,
grand.
no, I'm not ready to sell it yet. No, I'm gonna wait until maybe he's like, I'm waiting for the right moment. It needs to be monumental. I thought January 6th was going to be it, but it was too big of an issue. So I was like, nah. So maybe I'll sell it when he dies, right? Funeral.
Yeah, there you go.
And be like, oh look, guys, $10,000. You got a piece of Trump, limited edition. Yeah. So
cool, man.
Yeah, please don't hate me. Like this, my brain thinks about stuff like that. Like how do I improve my come up? I do think about all this stuff. And so as I was 2016, I saw that and I was like, limited edition. Let me see. I wonder. I do think.
Yeah, it was smart of you that they definitely have increased in value to a certain extent. It's just a matter of how much.
Definitely more than $12 now. Maybe it's $50. Someone will buy it.
Let me tell you, those Pokemon cards that we all played with as kids, a full binder or full set of those Pokemon cards goes for tens of thousands of dollars.
You see? Oh, and I threw away all mine back in the day.
Me too.
Look how
my mom saved a box of them. I went through them the other day, and they were all just like commons or whatever. But even the commons go for like hundreds. I had a whole book full of like my secret rares and my ultra rares from Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day in a binder. Yeah. And when I was in high school, after I'd like kind of grown out of it, the kid next door just gotten into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was like, "Oh, here, man, you can take all my rare cards. I don't want them anymore. They were worth like $1 or $2 a piece." I was like, it'll make this kid's day. That binder is probably worth fucking tens of thousands of dollars now. And he probably ruined those cards. If I could turn back time.
Who sings that? Cher?
I think that is Cher. Good ear.
Oh, I'm not a big Cher fan. Sorry, community. I'm not a big Cher fan. Because I didn't grow up with her. I'm a Madonna fan.
What do you think about our first episode, Alistair?
I think the first episode was amazing, right, Ashley? No, it was really good. Our first episode was really good.
This was fun. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments. I know we were kind of all over the place, but that's what this place is.
Comments
if
for the
you
podcast?
Don't like it, this is going on YouTube.
I mean, is it going to be on YouTube? It's going to be on the YouTube channel podcast, but we're going to post it as the podcast.
Oh, right, on the YouTube music section, technically. That's
it was just the audio on the YouTube music section, and then
there's video too, so there should still be comments.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So leave us a comment and let us know what you think.
Yeah, don't be too harsh on us, okay? Because he's just a squirrel. I'm gonna call what's that community? I'm gonna call
PETA.
PETA.
Yeah, PETA. Can't be too mean to the squirrels.
Exactly. It's a squirrel.
Squirrels,
okay. And be nice to me because I'm a black man.
Just like Rick and Morty, we all communicate. The squirrels are everywhere. You look out your window and you see that squirrel. We talk, man. We know about it. If you leave a mean comment, that squirrel comes back to me and tells me where you are.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And if you leave a mean comment, we're gonna cancel you. Oh my God. I can't. I'll stop it. Sorry, Beefy.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
All right, man.
Okay, but wait. There has to be a natural. Okay, as if we did it. No, listen. This was Boîte Noire podcast. This was Boîte Noire Radio episode 1. And again, listen, everybody. This is a place where we talk about anything and everything. If you have a problem with that, you don't have an open mind, you can just what, Beefy?
GTFO.
Exactly. All right, love you for watching. Goodbye.
We will see you in the next episode, guys.
Yeah,
bye. Wait, I'm waving my little squirrel paw. Imagine my squirrel paw is waving. Yeah. All right, guys. Bye. See you in the next one. Please watch.
End transmission.
Thank you for watching.